All right, we're back.
Well, that was fast.
What was fast?
Coming back.
If anybody saw the thumbnail, that pretty much sums up our personalities. Happy and grumpy. I'm grumpy.
Nice try. You can't redeem yourself from that one.
I can't. So are we on here now?
I'm not sure. Let me try to re-click on it.
All right.
There, it's working.
Okay, so we are back. So we had to take a little bit. Hey, Mr. Safety Forever. We need a little bit because Sabrina's phone is dying, and that's what we're using. So we got about 10 minutes that we can probably stream on it for. So it needed a little bit of a recharge, and now we're back for a little bit of a Q&A about RV full timing or about the RV lifestyle and this and that. So I'll start it off. My very first question is...
Wait, no, that's not the way it's supposed to work.
What do you mean?
People are supposed to ask you questions or us questions if we have answers. I'm not
I
sure.
have questions, though.
Oh my goodness.
I get to start.
Oh my gosh, I hit the table, sorry.
So my first question is, so Sabrina and I tonight are staying at a rest area. Last night we were staying at a Walmart. But my favorite area to stay overnight while dry camping, boondocking overnight is at a casino. I think the security's great there. They're open 24 hours. We can run in and out and grab things. And my second favorite would be a Flying J or something similar to that for kind of the same reasons. Pretty decent security, open 24 hours. It's almost like having the world's largest refrigerator at my fingertips at the Flying J's. But I'm curious to hear what everybody else's favorite overnight stay is for when they're doing their travel days. Where does everybody else like to stay overnight? What's your favorites? What's your favorite?
How come you only said pluses for Flying J's? You forgot like the noisy trucks.
But it's still one of my favorite. I'm listing it as one of my favorites. I'm not the one to say this is my favorite place because of noisy trucks. I don't know.
Oh, Cheryl said to let her know when we come to North Carolina, it's a great area and she would love to see. She said Triangle area of North Carolina. I don't know what
that is.
She said she's safe. She's an insurance underwriter. It's been fingerprinted and background checked at 80 different companies. Hey, so have I pretty much. I'm not an insurance writer, but I have had numerous fingerprints and background checks. Too many to count.
Cabela's. I like Cabela's idea. We haven't stayed at Cabela's. We've stayed at Cracker Barrels. Cracker Barrels are really nice.
Casinos. I agree, Sue. We like
Sue
casinos.
says casinos. So what's you have a question for everybody? I know you're convinced that this is supposed to work the other way around, but I think it's more fun to ask other people questions.
Raleigh-Durham, Mid-Carolina is the Triangle area.
Oh, okay. That I know.
We've
Sounds
flown
familiar.
out of Raleigh one time.
Yeah. So you probably have a question for
Why are you always
people.
putting me on the spot?
Because I feel like people have asked us a lot of questions this past... Oh, little tidbit. Are we 4 days from 6 months or 5 days away?
Let me look at my watch here. I think like 3 days away.
3 days away from 6 months full-timing.
Which initially, before we decided to do this, I said, let's give it 6 months, see if we like it. And if we don't like it after 6 months, stop. And you said, 6 months is too soon. You got to do at least a year. And 6 months has gone by really fast.
6 months has flown by. We can't believe we've been in the RV full-time now, living in the RV for 6 months. I just can't believe that the time has gone by that fast. Yeah.
Thanks, Sue.
Sue, you're a little over 6 months then, because you got in your RV before we did. Sue traveled. Sue doesn't have a channel or nothing like that. I even said to Sue that she should, because they travel a lot and they get to see a lot of places. They do more travel. I feel like Sue sees more than we see. We see the same places over and over again. So
I see work. That's all
you see a lot of work. Yeah.
That's all I see.
I mean, we just so since May we've put 15,000 miles on the RV, but I feel like it's a lot of the same. You know, we've been in Florida before, we've been in Virginia. We go back to the same states. Someone had said that they think that we're one of the few East Coast RV full-timers. I don't know if that's true or not, but they say most of the channels that they watch, they all seem to be on the West Coast. We're one of the few. I don't know who. I can't think of anybody else on the East Coast.
So Fernando wants to know about a propane tank on a Class A or Class C. How long do they last you? He thinks they're small and there's not an easy place to find them to fill them.
So we thought the same thing. We go about 6 months before refills. 4 months.
we filled 3 times, but 2 of those times it wasn't empty.
Right.
It was just like
every time
halfway.
every time we go to refill, it hasn't been empty.
I think like the last 2 times it was like $8, and another time was like 7 something because it wasn't empty.
We filled it up 3 times since January, since we've owned it.
Yeah.
And none of those times has it been empty yet. So I feel like
we're not sure what we're doing wrong, maybe.
Yeah, but everybody else tells us that they go really fast. I would say that ours, I believe we're going to get 4. If we would fill it and let it go all the way to empty, I think we get 4 months out of a propane tank. We're keeping track of it though this time. So we just filled.
I'm keeping track of everything.
I do. So I just filled in October, and I'm curious to see when we need to refill again. And I would agree 100%. It is not. It's not that it's hard to find refill stations. Not for us anyway. We pass a lot of them on highways because of Flying J's and things like that. But if you're like on back roads, it's tough to sometimes get your motorhome, especially if you're towing a car, into one of these mom pa types of stations that will allow you. And the last time we did a live stream, I had mentioned that Winnebago's new entry-level A-Class will now have removable bottles, which I think are a great idea because they don't have 2 bottles, and it'll be similar to a fifth wheel. You pull one, leave one, and then you can swap them back and forth like that. We did, after I said that though, someone that she says was in her senior years said that would actually be difficult for her to pull the bottles out, and she prefers the way they are right now, fixed, and she just pulls her RV up to somebody and they can just re-tap it for them.
They can re-tap it, and they have this checklist that they need to apparently go through to make sure it's safe to refill your propane tanks. And our checklist was blank the last time. It was pretty special.
Yeah, they're not doing a lot of safety.
What was this little box about? Was everybody removed from the RV? I was in here like eating.
While they were refilling.
I saw this paper when you brought it in after. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. So Cheryl wanted to know if when we were looking, were we looking at any smaller Class C's like a Winnebago Trend?
Yep.
Or B's or B pluses?
We're still looking at the Winnebago Trend. We really like it. And Sabrina wants to be in a Travato. But I keep telling her...
I like the dream of it, like the idea of it. I'm not sure. I like the idea of it. We'll leave it at that.
When we were going from our apartment to a motorhome, I was set on 35 foot. Like I thought we could not go under 35 foot. We had to have a 35 foot motorhome for the 2 of us to be comfortable, for us to be able to downsize our 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
We were looking at for a while.
Well, we were for a long time. We had our eye on the
Thor Outlaw 38RE. We loved it. We saw it at a show and we loved it. Yeah, that was going to be it. Toy hauler.
That thing's killer.
We don't have a toy, but toy hauler.
It's a mean RV.
The plan was to put a toy in there.
Yeah. So then we were like, all right, that's too big. Let's go to 35. And then we decided, you know what, even 35 is a little big. Let's go. Then we made our rule to be no bigger than 30 feet. And for us, we made definitely the right choice.
Yeah.
We're in this a lot. And we travel in it a lot too. I mean, we're set up a lot too where we're at campgrounds and stuff. But we do a lot of moving. Like I said, since May, we've done 15,000 miles. And the fact that this is under 30 foot does allow us to get in and every. I mean, we drove through that parking lot today at that mall with the car attached. Like it was nothing. I mean, I said to Sabrina, I'm so used to driving this now, I almost feel like I'm driving my cargo van. She doesn't. She would not agree, but I mean, it kind of has that feel to it now. And to go back to your original question, I'm sorry, I ramble a lot. We have thought about even going smaller than what we have now. We're at 30 foot now. We really like the Trend. There's a Trend that has a Murphy bed in it, and we're huge fans of Murphy bed ideas. We love the idea of the bed coming down at night and you use it, and then it comes up out of the way during the day and becomes your living space. We like that dual idea. The only thing that we don't like about something like that we love about this is that we have a hard solid door. Well, in a motorhome, it's a hard solid door. Anywhere solid enough that Sabrina, if she's tired, she can go in the back, close the door. I can be out here on the computer typing, watching videos, and I'm not bothering her in the back, or vice versa. So we use a MiFi for someone just asked what do we use for internet. We're using a Verizon MiFi, and we have their unlimited data plan. And the way it works, it's kind of cool, kind of sneaky the way they do it. So we have unlimited data.
Lots of air quotes.
But it's up to 15 gigs, and then it gets throttled. But the good thing about it is it's 15 gigs per device. So we each have a phone, we have a tablet, and the MiFi. So it's been working out that there are times that we come really close to using every last one of those gigs before we're throttled, especially when we do live streams and things like that. Some of the campgrounds that we stay at, they'll have Wi-Fi, so we take advantage.
It's horrible Wi-Fi,
it's
though.
Horrible.
It's horrible. Like,
it's very rare
you
that
can barely check your email. As they're handing you the passcode, they're telling you it sucks. It's really just for email.
They might as well just they might as well just hand us the paper and say, here, throw this out on your way. Throw this out.
They'll literally tell you it sucks as you're walking out there.
Yeah. Every once in a while, we'll get up to a place that has decent Wi-Fi, but it's not too often. If you're looking to be on the road, don't expect to rely on campground Wi-Fi. Come up with some other way. There's satellite dishes and other forms of Wi-Fi, but we have really good. I mean, really with Verizon and our MiFi, or just our Verizon, we've.
There's only been one
campground, one area.
Signal.
Yeah. Yep, and
we didn't have a signal till about 20 minutes outside of the campground.
But everywhere else, we've actually been able to get internet. It's been really, really great.
Mr. Safety Forever wants to know, how has your dog adjusted to RV life? Notice any concerns or changes?
She's great. We doubted Belle. So I was about to say I doubted you, but I doubted you too. But I doubted.
He's throwing my name in there for Belle all the time. Let's see where I stand.
I'm always throwing Sabrina under the RV. So we doubted Belle big time. We thought she was going to be a mess on the road, and she's been really good about it. She's been a trooper. But she likes it. She likes when we get to a new spot. She sees the world through her nose, and she goes out and she smells everything, and she's just been loving it. She's been loving it. She's been really good, really good.
Oh, the cargo van was actually his work van. It wasn't that he was actually. We were actually staying in the cargo van.
Oh. Camping with the Kellys, they actually have a little bit of slow internet right now. It happens. It's rare, though. I mean, we do get there will be times that our internet slows down and we won't have like the super high speed and HD and stuff like that. But it's very rare that we lose it.
Which is interesting, since the Verizon salesperson, of course, was like, "Oh, don't worry. When it goes from 4G to 3G, you won't even notice.
Yeah, he told us.
It'll be just fine."
Yeah, he said when it does
as our like Hulu goes blurry. But
yeah. And then for like Netflix and stuff like that with the TV, I don't know. This wasn't a question, but I'll just give you a bonus. We use a Blu-ray player that connects to Wi-Fi and does the Netflix and the Hulu and stuff like that. So that's how we keep up with our shows. We have a Hulu subscription and a Netflix subscription and an Amazon subscription. So that's pretty much our cable now.
That was in the apartment.
But that's even when we were in the apartment. We've never had cable. We've always used Hulu and Netflix, and then when we got on the road, we picked up Amazon Prime for their video service also. How do we deal with nosy neighbors? You know what? I wouldn't want to say that the neighbors are nosy, but they're just very friendly. They're just very friendly.
That's how you refer to it? Very friendly?
They're very friendly neighbors. Everywhere, if you're not familiar with the RV community, and you might be somebody who isn't like the friendliest person around, it might be a little much for you at times.
I mean,
but
seriously, you can't even dump the tanks without somebody coming up to you and being like, "So, where are you from? And what are you doing here? And what do you do?"
Oh, I see. We have Florida plates because that's where we domicile, and they'll come up. "Oh, are you escaping the hurricane?"
So how we deal with them usually is Sabrina hides in the RV, and Kenny stands out there and talks to them for an hour. That's usually how it works.
An hour is usually about the even after an hour, I'm like, I should probably go inside.
And I just hide. Like, I mean, he even called me out at one of the campgrounds. He was like, "Do you want to come out and meet so-and-so and so-and-so?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, she's okay right now. She doesn't want to come out. I'm like, you just like invited me out like a 5-year-old. And I'm like, no. And it makes me seem like this terribly unfriendly person inside that didn't want to come out and meet them.
I throw you under the RV all the time. All the time. But that being said, I'm actually writing another shameless plug. My next article for Winnebago will be why our RVers so happy. Because everywhere we go, we've never met a grumpy RVer. And I got many theories on this. Many theories.
See, other people are agreeing.
What's
Sue
that?
says Mark does that too.
Mark's really friendly.
Natman Allen says, "Ha, sounds like me. I chat forever, and the rest of the crew hides." Even before we got the RV,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Kenny would talk to people. I'm like inching back. I'm like, okay, well, all right, time's up. Okay.
I'm always friendly. I've always been friendly. I'm shy, but I'm very friendly.
Why are you staring at me?
Because you're shy and unfriendly.
I'm not unfriendly. I just don't go out of my way to talk
When
to
are we
people.
up in the New England, Massachusetts area? Like I said, Sabrina figures out all of our... I have very little to do with anything.
Except for cleaning the front of the
Except
RV.
for cleaning
outside
the
of
RV.
mall while I shop.
Leaving for the south. Yeah, it's hot down here. I can't read his name on that screen. I think it said Mellow. It's 80. It was 88 degrees and humid. It's a pretty big difference. My parents live in Philadelphia, and I talked to them earlier, and my dad said it was 35 degrees and raining when he woke up this morning. It's like, that's quite a difference. Quite a difference.
Yeah, so when were we coming up to the New England, Massachusetts area? So we were trying to get out of the north for the winter. Like, that's our ultimate plan.
Yeah.
But we're not really completely...
It's not going well. Our plans are not working out as far as
traveling. So we might still end up in, like, Pennsylvania or something for the winter, which I wasn't excited about, but we'll see.
Our original plan was to stay down here in Florida for... I think we were trying to stay down here for almost 3 months and avoid all the cold weather as much as possible, but it sounds like we're cutting our Florida trip way short, and we're going to have to shoot back up north again. So, that's okay.
Hi, Stephanie.
So, I have another question for people. How do you guys, our schedule and where we travel depends on Sabrina and her work. How do other people that are RV full-timing, what determines where you go? Do you guys follow weather? Is it work-related? Or you throw darts at a map? We're just curious, how do other people decide where they go and what times a year?
So while that's brewing,
Sorry.
with winter coming up, Ike Stewart says, do you have plans to deal with the freezing weather?
We did okay last... we bought the RV in January, and we started full-timing in May. But we did take it out on weekends, and I don't know... I know other people... We haven't been in, like, ice cold, but we've been in the RV when it's 20 degrees out, and it hasn't been...
No, because the propane heat, really, you can't even tell.
Yeah.
And it keeps the tanks warm. We have a temperature gauge that has a monitor inside where the tank bay is. And so we can kind of keep an eye on the temperatures down there, and they never go below freezing when we're in the RV. So
We have something in our motorhome. I don't know if it's a Winnebago thing. I'm sure other motorhomes have it too. That's called like a freeze line. So all of our tanks and everything that's important as far as liquids and stuff like that is above this freeze line. So if we keep the motorhome warm, it keeps all those tanks warm also. We also have an AC heat pump, and that's good for down to 40 degrees. And it runs, and that's probably another thing that saves us. Propane is the AC. We use the AC heat pump a lot more than we thought we would. And this way, when we're plugged into shore power to heat the RV, we're using the AC heat pump rather than the propane. A couple other things that we'll do is I don't hook up water and leave it hooked up when it's freezing cold. I'll fill up our water tank, our fresh water tank, and then I take the hose and I put it inside with us. And then when we need more water, I run back out there, hook up the water hose, refill our fresh water tank again, and then pull it away. I think Sue just said that they wrap outside hose, and yep. Yeah, we've seen people wrap their hoses. We've seen people run like a little heat cord along their hose. Last winter, what we were doing is we were just filling up our fresh water tank, and then we would just pull the hose in, and then we can last 4 or 5 days on our fresh water tank without having to run back out.
So it looks like most people follow weather, which is what
that would make sense. That's the way to go. The best way to beat winter is not to be in it.
And then others, it depends on where family is. So
yeah. Okay. I was just curious what other people pay. I figured weather was going to be...
It would be mine.
Yeah, weather would be the winner.
So I get a little concerned when we're calling places for the winter that we may be up north and all the parks are closed.
They're either closed or if they're open, they say, "Oh, we're open,
but we have no water.
But we have no water. We can't keep the water on, but you'll be able to park
here. You can stay here.
which isn't a huge deal. So we have a fresh water fill, and what we did when we were in Oklahoma doing boondocking, we have 2 jugs, 5-gallon jugs. I'd throw them in the car. I drive to a gas station, fill up water, come back, dump the water into the tank, drive back up to the gas. I mean, it's not fun. It's not the, it's certainly not ideal, but you can deal with no water. Yeah.
So Anthony Brown wants to know, how do you celebrate the holidays in the RV? Decorations? ? Tree? ?
No decorations, no trees. When we lived in our apartment, we never did decorations and stuff either. So something that you guys might know or not know, or we've mentioned before, but we don't use the word too often because it kind of shies people away, is the word minimalism.
Oh, I was like, what word? I was like, what am I learning?
and it's just Sabrina and I shedded a lot of things. So our thing, we only hold on to, carry, or live with things that we know we're going to use within 2 months of a time. So anything, give or take. I mean,
more him than me.
I mean, jackets and coats.
Mine
so
stretches a little more than that.
I'm 2 months. If I don't use something in 2 months, I get rid of it. Except for my coat that I know I'm going to use next winter and things like that.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just thinking about me.
So like Christmas decorations, Halloween stuff, and things like that we would only use for a short period of time.
We'd already gotten rid of those from the apartment.
We already gotten rid of that stuff before we even moved into the most thing that we have decorations wise is a plug-in light, that the rope light that goes outside, but that's not so much decoration. We just like it.
It helps me find the door too at night. So.
Yeah. That's why we're able to be, actually, I think, in this motorhome, though. We don't have storage. We don't even have a safety deposit box. Everything we own is in our 30-foot motorhome and our little Ford C-Max car that we tow behind us.
And there really isn't anything that, if it were, like, I know people would worry, okay, you have everything you own in your motorhome. There really isn't anything.
Everything's replaceable.
Everything's replaceable. It's
all
really,
replaceable, yeah.
I don't know.
We don't have any high...
We don't have any high-dollar items for anybody to come get.
The most expensive thing that we have is probably our
laptops,
MacBook. Yeah. I think that really would be it. We have nothing.
Yeah. Documents can all be replaced.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jelly stickers. Sue said jelly stickers for the windows is an easy way to decorate. They store flat.
I've seen stickers on windows. I've never heard them called jelly what?
Jelly stickers.
I've never heard them called jelly stickers. I don't know.
An RV Habit says most campgrounds in the north that open in the winter have bathhouses with water for use.
Oh, one place did say that, Lou. They said, we don't have the water on, but we have a fill station, or you can grab it from the bathroom. Do you guys have your school yearbooks? No, I don't. Do you?
No. It's funny because when you said school yearbooks, I thought you meant actual books, not school yearbooks. No, I wasn't putting that together.
I did up to last year, or about 6 months before we moved into the motorhome. I looked at it and I was like, you know what? This thing's been sitting in this closet for 5 years, and then before that, it sat in the closet before that for 3 years. And I was like, I'm never opening this again. And I threw away my yearbook. I'm not a sentimental person, though.
Maybe I do.
You might.
I might have mine.
You're a little more sentimental than I am.
I have like a little Tupperware. Well, it's not that little, but a Tupperware container underneath the bench dinette that I need to go through. That has like some photo albums, even though all the pictures are scanned already. It has some photo albums and some like picture frames that were given to us by family that I still have. And I think maybe the school yearbook is in there, but I was actually just saying the other day that I honestly haven't even opened that bucket since we came into the RV 6 months ago, so that stuff all needs to go.
It should go. Yeah.
It's got to go.
I'm not much of a sentimental. This is something I've had and I've always held on to. Right here, this picture. My grandfather gave me that, and I really like it. So that would be one of the few things, though, that if I would lose, I would be upset about. But for the most part, not too much. Somebody asked what engine we have. We have the Ford V10 Triton with the 5-speed transmission. I believe it's called a torque shift. Torque, something like that.
Sabrina, how has driving the motorhome been for you? Better? I haven't driven it since.
I've
been in the passenger seat.
I've been doing all the driving, which is...
It's safer.
It's fine. It works out pretty good. So yesterday we did about 8 hours of traveling, and today we did maybe 6 hours of traveling. And when I say traveling, I mean the whole day was 8 hours. That's with stopping, having lunch, and all that. It's not too bad. But I was pretty tired after the day. So driving the motorhome is a little different than driving a car. That's for sure. For whatever reason, I think I'm just on more of a high alert while driving the motorhome compared to a car. I'm just a little bit more focused, a little bit more concentration.
I think it's too much for me. I don't know. My brain goes all over the place all the time, and so.
And if the wind nudges you a little bit, you panic.
Having to like pay attention to everything all the time is just a little much.
She's more comfortable in the passenger seat with her little workstation, and she's got her tablet out.
I agree, Sue. I am a control freak.
Yeah, she is.
Let's see here.
My brother's watching. My little brother. I guess that's Scott.
Any more?
He says he's Scott. Yeah. Hey, Scott. I don't think Scott's ever watched our videos before.
Oh, that's funny. Any more info on Florida health insurance as opposed to the other domicile states, pros and cons? I honestly don't have any info on it at this point. I was actually just shopping for health insurance today.
Yeah, because our insurance just ran.
It's going to run out at the end of December. It's still in Virginia and they're actually writing us telling us, we see that the post office is telling us your address has changed. Would you like to update your insurance? And I keep saying no.
Dragging
my feet. Yeah, I'm dragging my feet. So then starting January 1st, I'm looking into Florida Blue. Because what I'm hearing is it's not really it's a nationwide plan, but not really a nationwide plan, but you can use it outside of just emergencies outside of Florida. So that's the one I'm looking into. So I was looking at some plans today, some HSA plans, et cetera, today. But that's as far as I've gotten with it. I don't really know pros and cons for different states or anything like that. So, sorry.
But you were just looking right before we went live.
I know, literally. I was
kind of
scrolling through their website before we came on here.
We do not do any... Angela asked, how do we eat on the road? We cook all of our meals in the RV while traveling.
It's tough with the dietary restrictions.
Yeah, so something else, if you're new to our channel,
it's tough.
You might not know, but even though I don't look it, but I'm vegetarian. I'm probably the heaviest vegetarian. And Sabrina is vegan?
Not like an ethical vegan.
Not
I
ethical,
still have like leather belts and leather shoes. Let's not get it twisted.
But you don't
I'm
eat
trying
eggs,
not,
no dairy. So it's just easier for us anyway to make all of our meals in the RV. Our kitchen's large enough, even with all the slides in. It's just, I don't know. I think other people have said that they do a lot of takeout and a lot of eating out while they're in their RV. But to us, it doesn't make too much sense because we're still home. We can cook anything.
Yeah, and for us, too, it's literally, I mean, we're going to go to a restaurant and go order a pile of broccoli next to a pile of carrots next to a salad.
It's not worth it.
I don't know.
No, we do eat out, but it's not...
it's for, like, events. Like, if we're
it would be an event if we're meeting up with people and things like that. When we're at Disney World, we'll be eating out. We have a dining plan. So, but Disney's, like, awesome as far as dietary... If you have dietary restrictions or stuff like that, they actually send the chef out to your table and say, "Oh, so what's your what don't you want to eat?"
Yeah.
I won't say what can't you eat because we can eat
exactly.
anything.
And that's the thing, is that it's not going to kill me.
Yeah.
Oh. Which I learned very well at Pizza Hut when Pizza Hut sprinkled Parmesan cheese all over my pizza. But it's fine. It's not going to kill me. So.
Yeah. So most of our meals, all of our just about everything. Yeah. We always make our own meals in the RV. Very, very few takeouts. Even my coffee. Make my coffee in the RV every morning too. And the phone is going to die. It's coming up giving us a warning. So I guess we should... I know a lot of people are on now and asking us questions. You want to do one more question? Or do you have a question for everybody?
I don't have a question. You always ask if I have questions. I'm an observer.
All right.
I think that's all.
All right, everybody.
Does that say sorry?
What's that?
Wow, RV.
Who plans your grocery runs?
Okay, so let's talk about grocery runs for a second.
I wish I planned them.
So, let's just say, I go to the groceries. Stop laughing, Geisha. I go to the groceries and I get things that I want and that I like.
When you're hungry, I think.
My grocery runs always end up being... So we have a grocery budget for the month. My grocery runs always end up taking up most of the budget versus when Kenny goes for his grocery runs. He'll come home and he'll spend like $35 and he'll have like meals for the entire week. I'll come home after spending like $160 and he's like, "Where's dinner? I don't understand. What are we going to eat for dinner? What did you actually buy?"
There's nothing to actually make a meal with.
But I don't know. There's recipes I find online, so I start buying little pieces of recipes and putting them together and stuff like that. So yeah.
I think I have to take control of our grocery shopping.
Yeah, I don't like all the stuff you buy. I don't know. We do have a Toad.
We tow a Ford C-Max hybrid. It gets about 45 miles per gallon, so we figured it kind of balanced our 8 miles per gallon that we get with the RV, but and it was a car that we owned.
We didn't really choose it for this. We already had it.
We owned the car, found out that it could be flat towed, and just, it was like, oh, I guess we'll keep it.
Yeah, because I had my Camry hybrid, and since his car was newer, we decided to give away my Camry hybrid, and then we would keep his C-Max hybrid.
But if we were starting this fresh, we'd go with a Jeep Wrangler.
I want a bunch of things that can't be towed. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're always looking at something, I don't know, ridiculous. Who knows what you're looking at? Jeep Wrangler. That's my vote for.
Does the generator burn oil?
No.
You do oil changes.
I do oil changes every 100 hours. That might be why it's not burning oil. I don't know. I don't give it a chance. See, Lou's got a. Well, we've seen Lou's. What did you just do to yours, Lou? You just did something. What was I watching? Lights? You just put in brighter headlights. You've been doing a lot of stuff to your Jeep, getting it ready. You're about to do tires. I know you just did a lift too. RV Habit.
Stop with the jealousy. It's okay.
I know. I like his Jeep.
Jeep.
RV Habit.
I know. You're sad.
He's got a Jeep that he's turning into going to use for his Toad, and he's been doing lots of upgrades to it, getting it ready. So. All right, everybody. Now you're leaving me on
now he's all sad because he doesn't.
I don't have a Jeep. We'll catch you later.
Thanks
everybody
for
checking in on us, and we'll let you know how the Florida trip goes. Thanks everybody.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.